Hi, good morning, my English speaking subscribers. The sunlight and vitamin D. Vitamin D, it is called the sunshine vitamin or hormone. And it is hormone because it is produced by the skin cells from the precursor, which is 17 hydroxy cholesterol, which will produce pre-vitamin D, go to the liver, then to the kidney to be activated into 125 dihydroxy vitamin D, then go to the intestine by the blood to absorb calcium from the intestine. How we feel red light and near infrared light, we feel it by warmth. If we feel warm, this means that you are in an environment which is rich in red light and infrared light, which go through even the clothes, because it is long waves and it is about 8 to 10 centimeter, and each inch is equal 2.5 centimeter. 2.5. Then the red light, it produces the feeling of well-being. Why? Because it works on the mitochondria inside the cells. Mitochondria are the energy batteries in every cell, and this will produce the good hormones like dopamine, serotonin, and that's why we feel good. And there are studies which shows that people who are depressed, if they expose their bodies to the sunlight, they will feel much better as if they are taking anti-depressing tablets. So this is natural tool to regulate your mood and your well-being. And vitamin D or hormone vitamin D, it is hormone because it is produced by the body. The vitamin, they are not produced by the body. We have to take them with our food, and they are essential for our health. But vitamin D, it is called hormone because it is produced by our skin. And in the skin, there are receptors for vitamin D also. So the skin are sensitive to the sunlight and produce sunlight, but at the same time, it has receptors or photoreceptors. You see, the main receptors for light are in the retina of the eyes. The retina is part of the brain, which is pushed out into the eyeball. But there are photoreceptors for light in the skin, in the wall of the blood vessels, are in the white fat under the skin. So if you walk in the sun, the skin, the blood vessel, and the fat will respond to this light, and it is very important for health. Of course, vitamin D, as we said, or we know, it is a fat-soluble vitamin. So, and the people who are obese and they have BMI, body mass index, more than 30%, they should take twice or 3 times the amount of vitamin D for those people with ideal body weight. Why? Because it dissolves in the fat and it will not be available for the body or for the cells to use it. This channel, it is called by the Arabic-speaking subscriber as the channel of cells. And they describe me as a doctor of cells. Why I talk about cells? Because I talk about the root causes of the diseases. It starts in the cells, and the diseases start before we show abnormal blood test. When you go to the doctor and you have abnormal blood test and show in the x-rays or in the ultrasound, this is too late. So prevention of diseases is very essential, and it is cheaper, and it is much better. Now, vitamin D or hormone vitamin D is very important for the regulation of the immune system, both the innate part, which we inherit from our ancestors. Why? Because it regulates the cells inside the blood. The innate part of the immune system is the blood and the different type of cells. So vitamin D, it works on the T and B lymphocyte. It activates them, so it becomes more efficient. And also it works on the adaptive part of the immune system. It is the part which we develop during our life in response to viruses, bacteria, and all the toxicity we are exposed to in our environment. It is adaptive. And the immune system, it will produce antibodies against the anti-gene. Anti against, gene mean the invading organisms. So the vitamin D, it modulate and regulate the immune system because it modulate and regulate immunoglobulin. Globulin is a protein produced by the immune system to fight diseases. So vitamin D is very important to regulate and decrease the autoimmune diseases because it reduces the it work on the immune system to reduce these immune diseases. Why? Because they did studies, which is called vital study. They studied 2,000 people and they gave them 2,000 international unit of vitamin D, and they find that there will be 22% reduction in their immune diseases like psoriasis, which is a disease affecting the skin, and there is hypertrophy of the cells of the skin, and it is a benign condition. And it affects the skin in the elbows and the knee joint, the skin on the knee joints. Vitiligo, which is also a skin disease, and there is changes in the skin pigment, and rheumatoid arthritis. It decreased by 22%, and this is very, very important and significant. So the vitamin D is essential for the health of the cell and the immune system and our health in general because it regulates 2,000 genes inside the nucleus of our cells. The number of genes in the nucleus of a human cell is 20 to 23%, 23,000 genes. So vitamin D, it will work on about 10% of our human genes. So this is the significance of vitamin D and the importance of sunlight. And we have to expose our body during sunrise because we expose our body to red light and infrared light, and the cells will become adapted when we expose ourselves or our skin in the midday for UVB light. UVB light is strong light. It is very important that the cells are prepared to take it. So when we wake up in the sunrise is important for the cell health. And UVB has many significant effect on our cells, not only vitamin D. It affects the cells to produce hormones, which is called POMC, pro-opioid melanocortin. And this it is an axis which will be transferred into cortisol hormone, into alpha melanocyte stimulating hormone, which will cause the pigment, and it affects the appetite. That's why if we are outdoor and expose our body to the sunlight, we will have less appetite to eat because of this melanocyte, alpha melanocyte stimulating hormone, which cause pigment in the skin as well as regulate our hungry and appetite hormone, which is leptin and ghrelin hormones. So the sunlight, we evolved with sunlight through billions of years, and it is essential for our life. But now we are living in environment which is always indoors, in offices, and this affects our health. I wish this is clear information. Thank you, and subscribe to the channel, and goodbye.